students here at the University of Florida are known for their love of sports. No Victor Oladipo, no Nikola Vucevic, and no Aaron Gordon, but no problem for the Orlando Magic. And with just a 5-minute walk, you can find yourself right here at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, where the Orange and Blue debut is currently taking place. But if you were on social media last night, you probably saw a lot of these. Yes, crying Michael Jordan faces. The crying MJ meme has been a staple on social media for a few years now, and it's become a symbol of agonizing defeat. Coach, do you have any plans to assess the kicker position and practice differently at all?
What are you doing this afternoon?
I got class, but I can make time.
I thought maybe you might give us a shot.
Every minute of practice time counts in the SEC, so Jeff and his team monitors Florida's ever-changing weather and decides if practice needs to be canceled or moved indoors, or if games should be delayed due to any possible lightning. We bring in WFT baseball beat reporter Ben Murphy, who is at McKeithen Stadium. Ben, what is the Florida versus FAU matchup going to bring tonight? Let's go to the top of the second, where the Fish went swimming. With 2 runners on, Christian Yelich dropped in the single in the center left. 2 players come in to score. Marlins go up 5-0 early, but the Fish were not done. Next batter up, John Carlos Stanton says, "Bye-bye, baby." Number 2 on the year for Stanton. Then later in the first, Miami setter Hassan Whiteside says, "You bring the peanut butter, I'll bring the jam." 19 points, 18 rebounds on the night for the big fella. Later, Pacers only up 1. PG-13 is pure from 3. Clemson, Alabama for all the marbles and that trophy on the line early on. It's the man with the size of a Ford F-150 and the speed of a gazelle. That's Derrick Henry, seeing nothing but daylight. 50 yards to the house, the first of 3 touchdowns on the night for him. You could say Case actually started his Florida career right here at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium as a senior in high school, selling drinks like Gatorade as a street vendor. And now on game days, Case is in the swamp getting ready to play some football for his beloved Florida Gators.
High school beat reporter Nikko Tan joins us live now from Citizens Field. And Nikko, what's the scene like out there?
Well, Mark, let me tell you, it's going to be hard to find an empty seat in the house here at Citizens Field. The Gainesville Hurricanes are taking on the Buchholz Bobcats. And let me tell you, there's a special intensity here on the field right now. The one player to watch for Gainesville High School is quarterback Kalen Christian. Honestly, Sean, I heard you mention that the Gators are #1 in the country again. But their biggest challenge, I think, is to just stay focused. Look, the Gators are back-to-back national champions. They're 38-3 so far this season. They're not scared of anybody, especially not Florida State. The Warriors are down 2-1 in the series, so with Game 4 coming up tonight, I would call it a must-win situation for the Warriors.
All right. So are there any former Gator players that are doing well in the finals right now?
Actually, yes. David Lee on the Warriors hasn't played a lot for Golden State, but he did play well in the 4th quarter in Game 3. Starting today, for Scooter Safety Awareness Month, the Gainesville Police Department is giving away helmets for free to UF students and student athletes. So if you're a UF student, there's really no excuse not to wear one. Did Will Greer solidify the starting quarterback job?
Well, I think he played pretty decent. We'll check the film and go from there. But Treon was ready, and he will be ready.
What are some of the things about the University of Florida and just Gainesville in general that you're going to miss when you're in Oklahoma?
Wow. I mean, driving in my parking spot.
What is it going to be like coaching against Andy Kennedy for the first time in SEC play?
Oh, good question. I should have been prepared for this one.
Nikko Tan, ESPN 850 coach. I know you never forget your first, but does it feel any sweeter the second time around?
Yeah, it was a little bit more emotional than the first. It was a kind of interesting thing. I don't know if it was a relief. I mean, everybody had said how many times we'd been here before and not won it last year, and I guess I never even thought of it that way. 23
home wins, the first time this organization has over 20 home wins in 4 years. Can you feel like a different vibe at home, and how important was it to get this one at your last game?
It's very important to close, this home season on a good note.
So, like, jugáramos vamos a jugar al fútbol.
17-year-old Jake Allen isn't known for his Spanish.
Por comer.
But here at St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, there's another language Jake is much better at reading: X's and O's.
Cover 2, so we're here. I'm taking 3, looking at that safety, and then I ripped it right in the hole. We touchdown, ESPN, Sam Bruce.
Jake is a high school quarterback committed to playing college football at the University of Florida.
I actually took my grandparents up for the spring game, and they had the most amazing time. They said, they were like, man, I want to go to Florida. Man, they were like, why can't I enroll?
For a high school junior, his resume is pretty impressive. He's a 4-star quarterback according to ESPN and other recruiting services. This past season, he led the Raiders to a 7A state championship. He's won multiple quarterback MVP awards at prominent high school football camps, and he's a finalist for the Elite 11, a Nike competition for the best high school quarterbacks across the country. But what does Jake do when he's not throwing footballs?
Twitter. I'm always on Twitter. I don't know why. Just Twitter.
Jake has over 7,000 followers on Twitter, and he's not even a senior in high school yet.
Yeah, I think the day I committed, I got 1,000 or so followers, and just Twitter was blowing up that day. It was definitely a fun thing.
So what's it like to have that many followers on social media?
Well, it's you have to just be responsible. You can't do anything bad because everyone's watching.
Everyone is watching, and not only fans, but other top recruits as well, which is why Jake is using social media to recruit other elite prospects to come play for the Gators.
Being the quarterback, you are the leader of the team, and I want to make sure I have guys around me that can play. And if I have to take that into my own hands, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make sure I get the best guys around me and, win some football games.
But Jake doesn't follow everyone, at least right away. Just ask his dad.
I think it took 3 or 4 months for him to actually follow me.
Oh yeah, money.
He's become such a leader online, and with social media and recruiting other players, and it's I'm very impressed.
Student athletes these days have to do their best on the field, in the classroom, and now online.
It's a responsibility. You have to watch everything you do on Twitter. You slip up once, hey, you never know, that scholarship could be gone.
Retweet. For WUFT Sports, I'm Nikko Tan. A graduating college student may go to a career fair when looking for work. But if you're a college football player with NFL aspirations, your career day is Pro Day. 18 former Gators look to impress NFL scouts in the Gators indoor practice facility today. I was out there as well, and it's no question that there's a lot of excitement over this group of Gators. Do well here, and you just might earn a spot on an NFL roster. The Florida Gators football team held their pro day this morning. For guys like potential top 10 pick Vernon Hargraves, this day has been a long time coming.
From when I started playing football, this is what everybody dreams of, going to the NFL, and this is part of it. And it was a good time, it was fun, and I'm excited to see what else is in store.
Hargraves didn't run the 40-yard dash today, but guys like Jake McGee, Antonio Morrison, Demarcus Robinson, and Kelvin Taylor showcased their speed in front of NFL scouts. Safety Keanu O'Neal used today to improve on the 40 time he originally ran a few weeks ago at the NFL Combine.
In Indy, I didn't feel comfortable with my time. It was slow in my opinion, so I came in, ran faster, and I'm feeling good about it.
70 scouts from all 32 NFL teams attended the event. Former Florida players already making a living in the NFL were on hand as well. These guys know that some future NFL contributors are Gator-made.
I'm really high on Jonathan Bullard, but with Alex McAllister, I think he still got to get some weight on him. But he's tested out the roof. Everything about him is strong, and that's kind of his concern is his weight as DN.
Kid Taylor ran a good time in his 40. Brian Poole ran a tremendous time in his 40. LaTroy Pittman been out here doing good too. Hunter Joyer, 33 reps on the bench, and ran a great 40 time as a fullback. So a lot of these guys are out here doing some great things.
According to NFL.com, Hargreaves, Bullard, and Neal all looked outstanding in positional drills today. Former Gator Sharif Floyd expects nothing less.
They know that this is all or nothing. We got to showcase what we can do for a living and show that we're good at what we do.
You saw Matt Jones and Sharif Floyd there. Other former Gators I saw in attendance were Chris Rainey, Matt Elam, and Trenton Brown. Just really cool to see all these Gators coming back to Gainesville for Pro Day. We'll find out which guys will join them in the NFL when the draft takes place April 28th through April 30th. The Bears are out of hibernation, and they're hungry for revenge.
They wasn't one of our biggest rivals, but they've developed into a good program the last 2 or 3 years, so it's become more of a heated rivalry.
For Dixie County High School, it's an opportunity to get some revenge on the state champion Trenton Tigers, the team that ended their season in the state semifinals last November.
Hey, we beat them all over the field, just didn't beat them on the board.
They better bring it in their house.
Emotions are running high, and not just from the players. Meanwhile, for the students at Trenton High School, it's more like another day in the office.
I think of Dixie County as like that little cousin that everybody has that always looks up to you and you just always beat up.
And for the players, it's business as usual.
We don't really think of the fact that we lost to them the first time last year. We just know it's a big game and we got to play well.
For a growing rivalry between small-town schools, there won't be an empty seat in the house.
They say there's people from the Panhandle buying tickets. There's people from everywhere buying tickets Monday. So it's supposed to be the biggest game around here.
There's more connections between Dixie County and Trenton than meets the eye. For many players and coaches, it won't be the first time crossing paths.
Hey, safety and safety. There you go.
Most of Trenton's coaching staff actually comes from Wilkerson's coaching tree. Amongst the ties, the quarterback for Dixie County is actually the nephew of Trenton's head coach.
Yeah, my nephew's a quarterback, but, you know, family's family, football's football this week, so.
A rivalry matchup.
Hey, if I can take up him and a guard, we're in good shape.
A community event. A family affair.
The defense coordinator over there is my brother.
The big game takes place Friday night at 7:30. For WFT Sports, I'm Nikko Tan.